Hello, Lenawee County. My name is Brian Vish, and here's what's happening this week in Lenawee.
Accurate, dependable, and late breaking. This is local and state news on WLEN, Lenawee's local news station.
Michigan Agricultural Commodities is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, marking 5 decades of service to farmers in Michigan and across the globe.
So my grandfather started MAC 50 years ago in September of 1976 with my grandmother and my dad, and they just had a small office in Lansing, and they were just working with farmers on a kind of a fob farm basis. So we were picking grain up from their farm, handling the trucking and really shipping stuff to Toledo. And we were kind of just a trading office for 10 years. And during that 10 years, the company was successful and built up equity. And we started using some of that, the equity to start buying distressed grain elevators. We've gone from really over the last 40 years from no storage to 50 million. So it's kind of exciting for us to be able to not only celebrate 50 years, but have 50 million bushels of grain storage across the state of Michigan, which makes us the largest grain handler in the state of Michigan.
During a visit to the company's Blissfield location, President and CEO Robert Geers and Operations Manager Noel reflected on MAC's growth from a small grain tradition operation founded in 1976 into Michigan's largest grain handler.
Look around, it's a high ag community. A lot of the acres here are farm ground. The only competition for our grain is the vegetables that are grown around here as well.
We're one of the most productive farm ground areas in the state of Michigan. If you look at Lenawee County, it's has the largest number of acres in farm production, and it's over its history been very, very productive. With the yields down here over the last 20-25 years have just become incredible, and they kind of surprise us every year.
The two discussed the company's long history in agriculture and its connection to local farming communities, including Lenawee County.
I think it's just being here for the customer, listening to what their needs are, and responding to that with having the hours that are needed to get their crop in and out of the fields, giving them options on pricing, not just allowing some flexibility in their pricing as well. I think just listening to what it is that their needs are and being able to accommodate them.
They also highlighted the role the Blissfield facility plays in supporting area producers and the importance of maintaining strong relationships with local farmers.
Our family and our owners are 100% committed to this industry. We'll be here for another 50 years. Yeah. We plan to continue to be there for the farmer, listen to them, invest in our facilities, and find ways to continue to provide value to the Michigan farmer. That can, again, that's reinvesting in these facilities. It could be education. We try to do as good a job as we can at educating the grower on what's going on in the news, or maybe how to be better marketers of their crops so that they can maximize the price that they get.
Company officials say those community ties have been a key part of MAC's success over the past 50 years.
It's encouraging and maintaining the ag base that we have here, supporting whatever opportunities we have, whether it be at the fair or different fundraisers, trying to support ag in the local area. MAC's responsibility is to make sure that we have a market for our farmers, and because it comes into our elevator and it ends up all over the world, frankly.
Yeah, I think that's the value that we bring to local farmers with the fact that we've got rail access here, which we're utilizing here today. It really gives our farmers access to global markets versus just the more local markets if we were just truck.
For 160 years, the Croswell Opera House has remained a fixture in downtown Adrian. The theater has survived changing tastes, changing technology, and changing generations, earning its place as Michigan's oldest continuously operating theater. As the Croswell marks that milestone, I sat down with artistic director Jere to talk about the theater's history, the community support that has sustained it for more than a century and a half, and what comes next.
It really means that we live in a community that cares about culture, that cares about community, that cares to support and help a place where people come together to share something and to feel something.
For Ryder, the anniversary is less about the building itself and more about the people who have kept it alive. She says the Croswell's history is ultimately a story of community investment and community ownership.
It is the community that has made the Croswell possible all of these years. We just wouldn't be here without the great community that we have.
That support has allowed the Croswell to evolve alongside Adrian itself. Over its long history, the theater has served many purposes, adapting to meet the needs and interests of each generation, while maintaining its role as a gathering place.
It's changed a lot, and I think that's one of the things that is really remarkable and important about this theater's history.
One of the most significant examples came less than a decade ago. A major renovation campaign transformed the facility, updating infrastructure and expanding the theater's ability to serve audiences for years to come.
The community donated more than $9 million to help us really shore up some of really important infrastructure things here, but also expand what we were able to do. So with that money and the support of the community's
support hasn't slowed. Earlier this year, supporters gathered for the Croswell's annual Great Big Night fundraiser, helping raise over $350,000 to support the organization's future.
The way this community showed up, where people gave, some gave a lot and some gave a little, but nearly everyone there gave something to help us raise $350,000 for this theater. It's quite remarkable.
While the theater celebrates its past, Ryder says its focus remains firmly on the future. Like many arts organizations, the Croswell faces the challenge of maintaining live experiences in a world increasingly dominated by screens and digital entertainment.
There's lots of opportunities and also things to be concerned about. Certainly, changing habits of human beings as we look to the telephone that we carry with us every moment of every day, and that becomes a source for news, entertainment, activity, communication, culture, and connection, and how live theater can continue to be an important part of what we get out of experiencing art in our life. I think that's a real question and something that we have to pay attention to.
That challenge extends beyond the stage. Ryder says patrons should also be cautious when purchasing tickets online, noting that third-party resellers can dramatically inflate prices for Croswell performances.
Ticket scammers are a thing that exists. People go to their phone, they Google Croswell or even the name of the musical, and the first things, probably 10 or 15 sites deep, fake ticket sellers.
Despite those challenges, Ryder says the future remains bright. New productions continue to become available, local participation remains strong, and the theater continues to look for ways to bring new experiences to Lenawee County audiences.
There's so many new musicals that are going to be made available to the Croswell in the next few years, which is super exciting to be able to bring something to our community that hasn't been done before. That's always a wonderful challenge and opportunity for us.
As the Croswell enters its 161st year, the theater's story continues to be written by the community that has supported it for generations. And that'll wrap it up for us this week in Lenawee. I'm Brian Vish for WLEN, Lenawee's local news station.
Count on WLEN, Lenawee's local news station, to keep you informed with accurate and dependable information 24 hours a day.